Peace and love, and welcome to Black Diamond Worldwide Outreach. Today's theme for our motivational message is control the spirit, heal the soul. Control the spirit, heal the soul. I feel that this is an important thing for us to talk about, especially in this month of October. People are dealing with like Halloween, but it's more than just trick-or-treating with the kids for so many people. It's so much more than that. So many people get into the occult side of life. So I wanted to do just this lesson today and also the other lessons throughout the month, culminating into Halloween, which actually falls on a Sunday. So we'll talk about, trick-or-treating and all these things throughout the month, but how we can control our spirit, because so many people think there's so much negative energy out there. It affects our spirit. It uses our spirit and it goes into our soul. So I believe that in order to overcome anything, we have to talk about it. We have to make it known. We have to speak the truth about it in order to overcome it. So that's what we're doing today. We're taking control of our spirit. All those evil spirits that you think are out there through, the West Indians call it obia, right? Americans would say like voodoo, curses, hex, and we're in our Hispanic Heritage Month, which we'll be celebrating next week, but we're in the month of the Hispanic Heritage observance. And in the Hispanic culture, they say Santeria. But all of these things that we have to live with and work with in our world, we must know that our spirit is stronger than that. And so we have to understand how we can control our spirit, that whatever is the energy that is coming up around that, our God, the God in us, the God who we are, is stronger than any negative or evil spirit that can come into our lives. Won't you affirm with me? Say with me. Fist in the air, you know the rules. I now consciously control my spirit. I now consciously control my spirit and I heal my soul. I think that soul is like that inner self, right? Right in between, like your stomach and your heart, right? It's that inner thing that where you feel the adrenaline, where you feel something every time you have an experience and just something wells up within that soul. That's where the soul is. So just touch that part of your body now, right in the middle of your chest, and say, I heal my soul. I heal my soul. Keep working with these affirmations. Let us aim to control the things and the spirits at every level of the experience. Listen, there's so many things just when we think about the body that happens when we get into this spiritual world and what we're experiencing, right? How we're existing in our world. I'm telling you, friends, you have the power to control those things. You have the power to control that spirit at every level, in the mind, in the body, in the soul, in your spirit. Our spirit is strong enough to outshine negation. Do you believe that today? Do you believe that the spirit that you have within you, that spirit that tells you what to do, where to go, that brings you intuition, do you believe that it is stronger than any curse that anyone can put on you? Listen, I was raised believing in that spiritual world, and to some extent I do believe in it, and the voodoo and all this stuff, the obia and all this stuff, because in a way, I kind of do that. People think that the blessings that we do or the blessing that I do as a minister is obia, and I always say it's the good obia, and just joking. But in all seriousness, all right, what I believe is that yes, there is a spirit, but we can always make it good. Even in the month of October, even when there are horror movies on TV 24/7, right? Even when we're having these experiences where we feel that someone's energy is off or they put a curse on it, our spirit is stronger than that. Our God is stronger than that. And because we know this, because we can live our life believing this, there can be no curse that can hold us down. There can be no evil spirit that can keep us in the dark because our spirit is strong and getting stronger all the time. Fist in the air, top of your lungs. My spirit is strong and getting stronger. Feel it in your soul. Feel it in your body. Feel it in the cells of your body. My spirit is strong and getting stronger. One point I want to talk about today. You know, as a minister, people always ask about my belief in Jesus Christ, right? I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe because they're not only the Bible, but there are tours and stuff like that. There's actual historical facts that show that Jesus was not necessarily his birth, but that there was a man named Jesus that lived on the planet. So I do believe in Jesus. But what I want each of us to understand is the point of Jesus Christ, right? The point of Jesus Christ is so that we can understand that the body can be spiritualized. The body can shine forth a divinity that is great and wonderful. And the way that the body can just kind of release itself from the human form and live as a divine form is through communion. A lot of people always ask about communion. As soon as they find out I'm a minister, they ask about communion. So I thought that we should talk about it just a little bit here. And of course, throughout the years to come, right? We have a lot of years with each other. Now, first of all, let's break down communion. Okay, so we know that Jesus Christ, came to show us that we can express this human body in a divine form. Right? We can heal, we can bless, we can prosper, we can imagine, we can do everything that Jesus did because he said that the things that I do, you can do and greater things also. So if you believe in Jesus Christ, you also have to believe in his words, in what he told us that we can do. Fair enough? Good. Now, let's talk about communion. First of all, communion, Jesus broke the bread, right? And that was to represent his body. And then he poured a cup of wine, and that was to represent his blood. Now, a lot of religions celebrate communion. And the point of communion to me is more spiritual than physical, but also spiritual in a way that fulfills the physical, right? So we have bread. Now, just think about it literally for a second, right? We have bread, right? When we eat bread, we are full, right? There is a restoration, especially when we're hungry, and we eat bread, there is a restoration in our body. For those of you who have ever drank wine and had a little too much to drink, right? They call wine and liquor and spirits the truth juice. Right? Because when you drink it, especially if you drink enough of it, you become kind of loose. You say the things you want to say, your inhibitions go out the window, and you just live freely, right? I believe that communion teaches us that this is who we should be every day of our lives without even bread, without even wine. This is what the demonstration that Jesus was talking about. It is a conscious connection for stabilization. It is a constant connection for stabilization. Jesus came to show us that we can be fulfilled without anything outside of us. It is all within. Just as when we eat bread and we drink wine and are fulfilled, it can be spontaneous. It can be whenever we need that energy. Another point of communion is that Jesus broke the bread, right? So it means that when we come to understand that, we can be like the body of Jesus, we can be like the mind of Jesus, we can be like the life of Jesus, it may not happen all in one shot. It has to be broken down just as Jesus broke the bread. Now, he was big enough where he can give each disciple a loaf of bread and say, eat, go ahead. He can give each of them a full bottle of wine and say, go ahead, eat. This is my body, this is my blood. But he broke it down. Sometimes life has to give us things in small portions. We can only take as much each day as we are able to receive. When we think about our phones, our cars, right? We fill it up with gas, we charge our phones. But it has to happen all the time, right? The more that we use the car, the more that we use the phone, eventually it needs to be charged. This is the point of communion. To know that as we're living our life, as people say, we're living that rat race, right? There is a restoration happening. There is stabilization happening. And the last point about communion is that Jesus did it before his death. Because Jesus knew that he was not going to be on this earth for so long. And people were worshiping him and giving him all types of gifts and coming to him for their healing. And he was trying to tell them that the same healing that I can do, the same blessing that I can do, the same restoration that you feel that I can do lives within you. So here is my body. Here is the bread. Here is the wine. Here is my blood. This is us. Know today that your body is restored, just as if you were at the Last Supper with Jesus, getting filled on the bread. Know that your blood is restored, just as though you were there with Jesus, right there. But here's the other part of it too. We must know that we are stable. There is a stabilization in every experience, in every situation. Therefore, there is no confusion. There is no lack. There is no thought of what am I going to do here? There is a stable consciousness. There is a stable spirit within us. And there is a stable life. Affirm with me, I am stable in every experience. And it's good to think of those experiences where we may not feel necessarily stable, where we may not feel that we have everything to accomplish every part of our dream. No. We're dismantling that belief. We're dismantling that thought right here and right now, and know that we are stable. Just put one fist up, right? Like Black Power, one fist up and say, I am stable in every experience. This is the first thing we must know in order for us to realize how to come to the actualization of controlling our spirit. To control the spirit, you have to know that you are the spirit. You are the very force of God. This is why Jesus, again, broke the bread, gave the wine, because it's not that he alone can heal, he alone can bless, he alone can have this wonderful life, right? It is for each and every one of us right here and right now. So to control your spirit, you have to know that you are spirit. You are energy. You are light. You are love. You are every good thing. So you can create in your soul and express the energy. You can create in your innermost self and express the energy. In our scripture reading, we learn in Romans chapter 8, verse 17, that Jesus is the channel, right? It says Jesus is joined here. We are joined here with Christ, but here's with God. So it means that God is the source. And, there are people out there that like to work through Jesus. Like I say, I believe in Jesus, but I know that Jesus is only the channel. God is the source. So the connection we must have, of course, like I said, listen, it's good to have and acknowledge Jesus, but the point of Jesus is to get to God. The point of communion is you're communing with God. So the more that you commune with God and know that, yes, God is the source, how great and wonderful your life will be. Now, as we come to this understanding now, as we come to understand that, okay, God is the source, we can work through Jesus, but I'm praying to God, I'm using God, I'm following the Spirit of God, we must know that we create our good. And as we create our good, know that your soul will always express the good. Know that your soul will always express good and positive and loving energy, not only today, but every day of your life. But also know that as you make your requests known onto the universe, as you say what you need in your life, you're going to be tested. One of my favorite movies is Evan Almighty. If you've ever seen it, it stars Steve Carell and Morgan Freeman. Yes, because Morgan Freeman plays God. And there's a point in the movie where he is, as God, he's talking to the wife because she is just saying, my husband is not present and all this stuff. And he reminds her that, listen, if you pray for love, the universe is not going to zap you with loving feelings all of a sudden. The universe is going to bring you hate. When you pray for peace, the universe will bring you confusion. Just know that the positive things that you are praying for are going to bring the opposite in your life. Why? Because you have to now prove to the universe that that is what you really want. If you're praying for peace, and when opportunities come up for you to be peaceful, you are hateful, you don't share that peace, it means you're not ready. So you're going to keep getting experience after experience after experience until you realize that, wait a minute, I have to control my spirit. I have to heal my soul before I can move on to the next step. There is something that you need to heal. There is something that you need more work on in controlling. That is why you're not getting the peace. That is why you're not getting the love. That is why it seems that hatred is coming, lack is coming, doubt is coming, because you have to prove within yourself that these things are not only temporary, but they are non-existent. That the negation that you're feeling is not only temporary, but it's a figment of your imagination. You are stronger than that. You are better than that. As a child of the all-universal force, you are more powerful than that. So put your fist in the air and affirm with me, I create good in my soul. I create good in my soul. And I express good energy. I express positive energy. I express loving energy right here and now. Right here and now. So even if before you hit play on this video, there was negation in your life, there was doubt in your life, there was, all these things that you didn't want in your life, know that it is coming for your highest good. Know that you have the power within you to prove that you are ready to receive and express your good. Friends, be genuine about your healing. Be genuine that you will receive all that you need in a good and a positive way, but also give yourself the freedom not to think about something, right? All these thoughts, all these experiences, we think about them from sun up to sundown. Give yourself time within the day to not even address it. To think about something else, right? To watch something that will make you laugh and get excited about life. Give yourself the freedom to do so. Also, give yourself the freedom to control your energy. Say with me, positive vibes only. Positive energy only. So, let me tell you something. I am one for, if I'm having a conversation with people and I'm feeling that negative energy, I'm quick, fast, in a hurry to say, I'm not feeling your energy. It's too much, right? It's confusing. It's lacking something that I need from the situation. When you confront people like that, people always stand back and it's just like, oh, okay. And people do that to me too. My mother is one for that. My best friend, my family even. If I'm getting all crazy and stuff like that, or I just have an attitude, like we spoke about, I think it was last week with, am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? These things happen to me and I have to stop myself and go, you know what? I'm not living up to my best. And people call me out for it. And it kind of just catches you off guard because you start thinking, you know what? I do have an attitude. What in the world is wrong with me? Let me go back and fix what is going on in my world. And then as you do that to people, they can only come back with positive and good energy. And if they refuse to do so, walk away from the situation. Know that you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to bring that into your life. This is your life. This is your existence. Make it count. Make every moment count. And that means also not acknowledging or not giving time and airplay and mind energy to the negative that's all around you, to the negative that people are and do in your life. You have the power to do so in your world. So again, just say positive vibes only. Right? I like to snap like I'm listening to my favorite song. Positive vibes only. Like I'm sitting on a beach, right? My favorite place in Jamaica. Just no cares in the world. Spend at least 5 minutes a day doing that in your life. Set your affirmation at the start of the day. I can't stress enough how important. You know, people say, okay, pray at the beginning of the day, but not everybody's into prayer. Not everybody knows how to pray. Right? There are people that have gone to church all their lives, but they can't formulate a prayer when it's time to do so. And that is okay. You can form your own affirmation. Look, I mean, we've been doing this since April. Look how many affirmations we done had. If you go through our website, look how many affirmations are there. Take one or make up your own. Make it positive. Make it you. Fit into you. But start your day with that. Because you know what it does? Not only does it send, there are a lot of religions that believe that when they do their morning prayers or their prayers, you know, they face the east. Why? Because that's where the sun rises. So as they're kind of speaking into the sun, speaking into the universe is kind of covering their day with their words. But even more physically, that happens with us when we're speaking our word at the beginning of the day. And all we have to say is, this is going to be a great day. This is the best day ever. That's a prayer in itself. But we get up with this noisy alarm and we go, oh my God. Listen, I'm good for snoozing. Especially if I got nothing to do that day, I'm good for snoozing, right? Hitting the snooze. But there's so many people that they snooze, and then when it's time to get up, they're like, oh my God, I gotta go. And they run into the shower and they shower, brushing their teeth while cutting their toenails, while doing all this extra stuff. And they forget to set their intention for the day. Never forget to start your day focused on how you want the day to go, with the people you want in your life, the energy you want to surround that day with. Because here's what happens. Here's what I find. And so many people say that, right? Once they start with this intention in the beginning of the day, right? They start with this affirmation. Today's going to be a great day. When things happen, again, it's, you know, things are going to happen where you're like, okay, I affirmed this today. Why is all this stuff happening, right? But you remember it throughout the day. You stop and you say, wait a second. I claimed it today. Today's going to be a great day. So whatever's going on, it's got to go. You've already claimed it. And as you do it at the start of the day, throughout the day, you will remember your words. You will remember that you spoke into your life, into a good way, into a wonderful way, into a positive way. Claim it right here and right now. Friends, the last point I want to leave with you. Just as we eat and sleep and shower and drink, right? We have to remember that our healing, controlling our spirit, healing our soul is not just a one-time thing, right? Just as we eat and sleep and shower. I touched on this a little bit last week, but I wanted to just expand on it as the last point today. Just as we do all these things and need to continue to do it, so do we have to work on controlling our spirit. So do we have to work on healing our soul. It has to be done continuously. Put your fist in the air and affirm with me. I stay aware of my feelings. I stay aware of my feelings, my actions, and my reactions. Friends, today know that you have complete control over your spirit, over that energy that you are sending out. Know that whoever's coming to you, if they're not coming with that energy, and you know, there's some people that don't want to come with that energy. You know, the old time people say sometimes you got to put your hand on your hip and let your backbone slip. Right? You got to get that finger out and get in people's faces. Okay, maybe sometimes you got to do it if people aren't getting the message, but we can't live our lives like that, right? We have to set our intention for the day and know that whoever is coming into our life is setting the same intention for our lives. Whatever they do with their life is their business, but we're not allowing the negative energy to affect us in any way. Friends, I want you to think about this through this Halloween season. I want you to look at the goblins and the ghosts and the ghouls and the witches, and not just the decorations, but those evil spirits that you think are at work in your life. I want you to face them today. I want you to let them know as boldly as you can, you have no space here. You have no space in my mind. You have no space in my feeling. You have no space in my action and my reaction. I have perfect and complete control over my life, over my spirit, over my soul, over my body. You have it all within you. And even if you think somebody put, even if you, I almost slipped into my Guyanese accent. People say I shouldn't, because I'm not, my family is Guyanese, but I'm not Guyanese. Well, half Guyanese, but this accent shouldn't be coming out my mouth. And I learned when I went to Guyana, because you grew up with this accent, so you go to the native country, and I started talking like a Guyanese, thinking I got the dialect down, and this boy just looked at me and said, just stick to American, right? Talk like you're talking when you're on Flatbush Avenue. So I'm not even trying to have that accent. It just comes out sometime, but praise God, right? It's in me. It's wonderful. But yes, when people are coming with that negativity, when people are coming with their hexes and their voodoo, even if you feel somebody put obeah on you, put voodoo on you, you have the power to overcome it. You have the power to say, okay, that might be true, but my God is stronger. I am stronger. I can control my spirit. I can heal my soul. I can overcome all of that. Put your fist in the air and say this last affirmation with me. I have perfect and complete control. I have perfect and complete control over my spirit, over my soul, over my body. My soul is healed. My soul is healed. Feel that within, where the confusion comes up, where that negative adrenaline comes up, right? Where all those feel it in that soul. Feel those words in there. My soul, my spirit is healed. And I am healed and free. Fist in the air. I am healed and free. Friends, I hope that you will join us for this month as we talk about how we are controlling our spirit and healing our soul up to Halloween, right? That we don't have to have these negative experiences have anything to do with our life, because our God is stronger than that. Our mind is stronger than that. Our body is stronger than that. And we are creating a world. We are creating experiences. We are creating the atoms in our world that reflect that back to us. Live stronger than the negation. Live stronger than whatever curse you think that somebody put on you or that you put on yourself. Today is the day of the exorcism. Today is the day where you say, absolutely not. I have a spirit of joy, a spirit of life. I can control it and heal my soul every day. And whatever comes up, I can always do it in every day and in every good and perfect way. I love you. Be blessed.